crave. Under neon lights we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
News, glorious news. We're anxious to hear it. Hey, it's Monday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the 11th day of August 2025. It's still my birthday month. Steve and mine and my niece and like 90% of my family. How y'all doing this lovely Monday? Looks like the sun is out. The sky is hazy, but could be blue. At least the sun's out. And it's time to open up our charts, take out our sextant, and take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news stories that might be shaping the industry today. And thankfully, it's a pretty uneventful week so far, he says, fingers crossed. Let's see. We've got Green Ronin releasing the playtest edition for Mutants and Masterminds 4th edition. This is the part of their continuing process to try and make enough money to get their product off the shelves at Diamond before Diamond sells it, because that's all wrapped up in the whole weird Diamond bankruptcy solvency thing, where Diamond is trying to say, hey, it's on our property, it's ours, even though, you know, they paid us. But yeah, it's ours, right? Because it's on our property. So we have the right to sell it to help pay for the money for the bankruptcy. And Green Ronin is saying, yeah, no, it's ours. It literally has our name on it. Give it back to us. So they're trying to make enough money to get the stuff back. And part of that is releasing Mutants and Masterminds 4th edition. Does Mutant Masterminds need a 4th edition? But this is not just a normal playtest. This is a paid playtest. This is a $20 paid playtest. 200 some odd pages of Mutants and Masterminds 4th edition goodness to be playtested. If you got 200 pages, it doesn't really feel like it needs to be playtested. It feels more like you had this ready for a while, but you just want to justify charging people $20, which, if it's part of your plan to get your stuff back, I guess is understandable. So yeah, if you're interested in that, we've got the new Dungeons and Dragons coloring book coming out in November called Dragons of the Realms. Oh, finally something of Mackenzie Dam's IQ level. Oh, Image Comics has released a sequel to Die, the role-playing game, with another new comic book series placed in that universe. Pellegrin Press announced Mayshire Detective Club, a fantasy-themed cozy mystery game where slowly you realize that 2 by 2, your entire village is now dead. You ever done the math on any of those shows? You know, any of those British murder mystery shows or whatever, you know, where it's a small little town, maybe, you know, 300, 500, 1,000 people live there. And, you know, it's an average of 3 to 6 episode series, because British series tend to be a little bit shorter than our series. An average of 2 people die per episode, which means by the end of the first season, you know, even if it's a, you know, 6 season, that's 6 episode seasons, that's 2, 4, 12 people, 13 people who are dead. And then that continues the next season, 13, 20 more people. And after a while, people are beginning to notice that, hey, everybody who goes or lives in that village is dying. Maybe it requires a larger investigation. Or am I the only person who ever thinks about that? Anyways, Baldur's Gate 3 is celebrating its 2nd anniversary since it released, and it has over 1 million players who have completed the hardcore tactician mode, which, if you're a Baldur's Gate player, probably means something to you. Free League announced their new anime-inspired tabletop role-playing game, Twilight Sword, which is heavily based upon Zelda, and Wizards of the Coast and New Holland have teamed up to release Dungeons and Dragons flavored beer, because nothing says game for kids like beer. So yeah, nothing really going on this week news-wise. Pretty uneventful, but it's still early. And now our major news is revolving Diablo. Rob Fergusson is leaving Diablo. Who's Rob Fergusson? Rob Fergusson is the general manager of the Diablo franchise. He's been the general manager of the Diablo franchise for the past 5 years. He's leaving Blizzard to go and do something else. After 5 years of driving the Diablo franchise with 4 big launches, it's time to step away from Blizzard and see what's next. I'm proud of what we've built and excited to hear at Diablo and Diablo 4th edition. You know, Diablo 4 doesn't really impress me. So, yeah, you haven't done that great of a job. I mean, Diablo 2 is still the best. Best music, best just emotion, best scenes, best villain, best NPCs, DECARD CAIN, Charcy, you know, just best zones. Even today, it's still like, oh man, once you hear that music, you're just like wrapped in. You know, the Diablo 3, I would say Diablo 3 is the second best, you know. But there's a redundancy to Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 where you're just playing the same build over and over and over again and doing the same things over and over and over again. It doesn't really have that, you know, that oomph to it. Sure, the graphics are better, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, he's leaving Blizzard to do other things. Will he end up at Darrington Press? Because it looks like everybody and their dog is ending up at Darrington Press to work for Daggerheart, which I think is a mistake. Because I think Daggerheart's maybe got a 2-year lifespan. And all these people jumping on the Daggerheart bandwagon are going to regret it 2 years, 3 years from now when Daggerheart flounders. Because it feels like to me, and I could be 100% wrong, but it feels to me Daggerheart is built to fail. It is just a thing to help them do other things and to get control of their product away from Wizards and separate themselves from Wizards. And how are they doing that? By hiring all of Wizards staff. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Just that's what it feels like to me. So Guy leaving Blizzard to pursue other things. Will he end up at Darrington? Do we care? What do we think of his curating of the Diablo franchise over the past 5 years? Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning a lot for some reason. Has he done a good job? I don't know. I haven't really been impressed by Diablo 4. So no, yes, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Do you even care? But that is all the tabletop role-playing game news stories we're looking at. No rattling of the cages from Wizards yet, so that's a good sign. But it's still only Monday, and it's still only 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, so Wizards still has all day today, all day tomorrow to do something dumb. But if the worst, most controversial thing that happens this week is the guy leaving Diablo for Blizzard, I would be perfectly happy with that. Of course, I never get my way, but it's nice to dream that I'd have a week without anything to talk about. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. If you appreciate the nonsense that's coming out of my mouth, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, help us hit the next goal of 3,000 subs. Take a look at my merch. All my merch is available for sale on DriveThru. Plus, I am an Only Crits Dice affiliate. So if you're looking for some brand new dice for your character of choice, check out my link. You help support me, but more importantly, you help support Steve the Cat. Only Crits Dice, the only dice tested and approved by Steve the Cat.
Monsters lurking in the night. Heroes ready for the fight.